Hey guys, okay, well, we may not be able to have class live, but we can certainly have class via the miracle of YouTube. All right, so what I have up here on the screen, and I'm just going to go ahead and play it from the current slide, we're going to review a couple of things, and I'm going to show you those things in action. Now, I am assuming that you can probably identify these. So a very long shot, something that would be like a shot from a distance. A long shot shows the full body. A medium long shot shows the person from, say, the hips up. A medium shot would show the person from the chest up. A medium close-up from the shoulders up. Close-up, just the face. And then there, of course, are the extreme close-ups. So those are the very, very basic types of shots that you want in your film. And here's just some visual examples of them. So here's an extreme long shot where we're establishing our location. Where are we in space? That's what an extreme long shot is for. And then usually what happens is that as we get closer and closer to the characters physically, we get closer and closer to them emotionally. So as you can see, I have an emotional distance from this Bergman character, and I get a little bit closer emotionally to the character as I move closer to them physically. So what you want to do when you're shooting your film is to mix a variety of shots and think about physical closeness as emotional closeness to the viewer. So the closer you are to the subject, the more of a connection the viewer has with that. Okay, and this is borne out by Alfred Hitchcock's rule of composition. The size of an object in that frame should be directly related to its importance in the story at that moment. So Hitchcock used it. If it's good enough for Hitchcock, it's good enough for me. Okay, so here's a storyboard. And remember, I'm not requiring you, I'm just requiring you to do storyboards and shot lists for your own use. But you can see right here, we have a shot number, and we have our two heroes here. And this is from Jaws. Now, this is a long time ago, and my parents did not allow me to see Jaws. I actually have never seen Jaws. But this is a two-shot. As you can see, it's a medium close-up, because we can see mostly their heads. And it's also a point of view shot, or POV. So we look at them, they look scared, and then we see what they see. They see this giant shark, which is in, guess what, a long shot. So this is a long shot. This could also be the master shot. Remember, we discussed the master shot. And then finally, we cut to Jaws' horrible gaping mouth. So you really get a sense of, as we start out, and these guys are obviously, we're close enough to them that we see their expressions, we see emotion, we see vulnerability, we see fear, we see anger. And then when we move back, we see what they're looking at. And finally, we get that horrifying feeling of being eaten by a shark, or almost. And that's how we use shot size to push the story forward. Okay, so we discussed this last time, and I'm not going to go into it exhaustively, but remember the master shot technique. So whenever you have dialogue, make sure you have one shot where all of the characters are in the scene. That is for coverage, so that you always have enough coverage and you never end up with any missing stuff. And I'm actually going to show you in the premiere video, I'm going to show you a mistake that we made actually doing a sample film, and you'll see how that works. Okay, now we looked at this last time, so I'm not going to belabor the point because we're actually going to show how it's used. So we look at, this is a classic dialogue sequence. So whenever you shoot dialogue, you shoot over the shoulder. And I want you to notice how tightly this is composed. So we don't have a lot of wasted space. We don't see a lot of their bodies. We see mostly head and shoulders of the Joker and just head and shoulders of Batman. And I'm going to show you that very soon. And then, of course, here's our point of view of the character. Okay, and just to review, we discussed cutaways. Cutaways are great for when you mess up, and they're also great as points where you want something in the action that is not necessarily, it's indirectly related to the story. For example, this wedding singer is indirectly related to the story. Okay, so now we didn't talk last time about camera movement. Guys, you're doing a mobile phone film. Probably you aren't going to have a lot of camera movement. But I will point it out when we look at our example film, which is from The Incredibles, or actually Incredibles2. Okay, so here we have Incredibles2. And this is we're going to watch the very first sequence. And as I show you that, I'm going to stop it and point out where we're seeing those different types of shots. So in any film, animated or not animated, we're going to see those classic shots. All right, here we go, Elastigirl. Over the shoulder. See it? Over the shoulder. So here we have this boy who accidentally saw a super, and we're looking over his shoulder to see the guy who's going to erase his memory.
12. Agent Rick Dicker interrogating. State your name, please.
Tony? Tony Reidinger?
Tell me about the incident.
Well, there's this girl in my class. I saw her.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. So did you see that over-the-shoulder sequence? That's a classic way of creating dialogue. Okay, so now we're going to move into, so this is a point of view shot. Did you see that camera move? Let's go back a minute. Okay, so I'm going to move back to our over-the-shoulder sequence.
Well, there's this girl.
See, that's his point of view. He's walking down the stairs.
I saw her at the track meet.
Check that out. That is a master shot. So all three characters who are important are in the scene. Anybody who's talking is in the scene.
That's me.
I sort of knew her, but she changed. Relaxed. She was more sure of herself. Cool. Cute. I asked.
Okay, did you see that over-the-shoulder sequence? And now this could very well be a master shot again.
So, Friday? Friday.
Point of view, did you see that? That's her point of view, looking at him.
I went to watch the track meet.
Okay, so this is actually could be a master shot as well, but of course everything goes wrong right now.
Parking lot. As if things aren't weird enough, I look over and I see these boots.
You two stay here.
Wait, should we be doing this? It is still illegal.
They look like...
Okay, there's his point of view, right? Now there are the Incredibles. There's Mr. Incredible, there's Elastigirl, and there's Violet, and we are seeing his point of view from under the car. And now here comes the shocking part where he finds out she's a super.
Superheroes.
We're gonna lose it.
Oh, all right. One of you put your...
Notice that this is a master shot. All the characters with dialogue are in the shot.
Perimeter, keep the crowds back and safe. The other watch after Jack. I thought we were gonna go...
You heard you.
Okay, so see how that is? Do you see that's also a master shot? So we had Elastigirl in there for a second, but everybody who has dialogue is in the shot, including Jack, whose superpowers are a little unusual, as we find out.
Your mother. Trampoline me.
All right, here go the Incredibles.
I got perimeter! Not going anywhere! Cinematic!
I see.
Okay, so all of that is from our little poor guy's point of view. And so he's stuck under the car, and this girl looks vaguely familiar.
My chance to get out of there. But there's something familiar about one of the kids' voices. The girl, she's upset, and she throws down her mask, and it's her.
Point of view. Uh-oh, she gave herself away. That's her point of view.
Oh, Tony! Hi. This isn't what you think it
This
is.
is getting too freaky.
Okay, I want you to notice something about this. That was a classic over-the-shoulder dialogue sequence, but notice those characters are far, far away from each other. There's emotional distance between them. They went from buddies at school to holy cow, she's a super, and he doesn't want to get close to her, he doesn't want to get near her. Okay, so that's what I mean by physical closeness denotes emotional closeness.
I couldn't handle it and ran off. I feel kind of bad about it.
Now here we are back at that over-the-shoulder dialogue
Maybe I
sequence.
should've said hi or something. It's not her fault superheroes are illegal. And it's not like I don't like strong girls. I'm pretty secure, manhood-wise. What is that?
Have you told anyone else about this? Your parents?
No, they'd only think I was hiding something. You know what I mean?
Sure, kid.
Okay,
I like this girl, Miss.
okay. I want you to notice that he is photographed from a high angle. So he's photographed from a high angle, and that emphasizes his powerlessness.
Mr. Dicker, I'm supposed to go out with her Friday night. Now things are just gonna be weird. I wish I could forget I ever saw her in that suit.
You will, kid. You will.
All right, so that's our object lesson in shot movement, shot size, and shot flow from The Incredibles. Okay, so now you've shot a whole lot of footage, and what I'm going to show you next is how we put that together in Premiere. So I'm going to stop this video, and then we're going to start it in Premiere, and we'll show you how a very short dialogue sequence gets put together in Premiere, and I'm going to go over that Premiere interface for you. All right, that's it for right now. I'll be back in a minute.